Hello, my name is Aaron. I am a certified life coach, mindfulness and meditation practitioner, and mindset guru. In this video, I am going to be talking to you about my Rapid Transformation Therapy session. It is a form of hypnotherapy. I've never done this before, so I'm here documenting my journey, and of course, it is going to relate to lucid dreaming. But before we get into it, make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notifications on all future videos. Okay, so I am about to go into my RTT session. RTT, I believe, stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy. I'll have to look it up just to make sure, but I believe that's what it is. So I have been thinking about doing this for a while. I have experimented around with a lot of self-hypnosis, but I've never been hypnotized by another person. It's interesting the way this entire experience came about because the RTT therapist actually is a friend of a friend, and I heard about her a while ago, probably more than a year ago. Her name is Miss Jessica Gordon. And I'll put the link to her website below in case you want to check her out. She normally deals with inner child trauma, anxiety, depression, helping people stop smoking, things like that. So I came to her and I told her about what I would like to do, which is dive deeper into my lucid dreaming practices. I told you all that I'm going to be here being open, honest, and authentic. I'll talk about my obstacles. I'll talk about my challenges because you may be in your lucid dreaming journey and you may have some of the same experiences and you're wondering, okay, how can I get around this? How can I combat this? How can I move forward through this? So over the past, I would say 3 years now, I haven't counted my lucid dreams from this year, but I probably had close to 300 lucid dreams. When I first started my practice, they were happening very, very often, maybe 3-4 times a week. Over a period of, I would say, 2 years, they were fairly consistent, but then about the 2.5-year mark, things started to taper off a little bit. And I always heard, your lucid dreams, they will come, they will go, and not to be too concerned about it. I'm pretty sure I've told you all before that I am a natural lucid dreamer. I've had lucid dreams ever since I was a child, but when I was younger, they would happen spontaneously. So I wasn't really focused on a lucid dreaming practice. As I got older, I told myself, okay, I really want to learn more about what it is that's happening to my body and happening to my mind so I can make it happen when I want to. And my whole purpose has always been to use lucid dreaming for spiritual and personal development. Well, as you can imagine, around that 2.5-year mark, when I start to get less and less lucid, I'm wondering, is there something going on? Do I have some type of internal blockages? Is it that I'm not motivated or inspired? Am I being lazy with my practices? And of course, your practice changes over time. I noticed that many times I'll rely on just working memory of my dreams. I'm not consistently writing down my dreams. I do a practice called evening space where I will come to meditate and just, get myself prepared and ready for bed. Sometimes I don't do that. So I am going through this RTT therapy session in order to really dive deeper in my practice. I'm hoping that whatever blockages are happening, that I will be able to remove those, that the therapist will be able to help me remove those, or at least figure out more about what's going on. So this is kind of like my before video. I haven't gone through the experience just yet. I'm actually waiting for my session to begin. Right now, of course, we're still in the COVID pandemic, so a lot of things are happening from home. I'm going to be doing this session over Zoom. So once again, this is my before video. After I have this session, I will come back and make another part to this video, and I will let you know what happened, how I felt about the experience, and just give you any updates. Okay, so we're back for the second portion of this video where I am going to be talking to you about my RTT experience. So I already made the first portion of the video, the kind of before part. I've actually already had my RTT session and it's been a few weeks, so let me give you an update. Once again, if you don't know what RTT is, it stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy. It's a type of hypnotherapy that was developed by Marissa Peer. So this is my first time, well, this was my first RTT experience. I'm very interested in hypnosis and subliminal affirmations. You've probably seen a lot of videos like that on my channel. The hypnotherapist, the therapist that I went to, she specializes in inner child work. So she helps people communicate with their inner child, resolve traumatic issues, to release blocks, perhaps surrounding money or success or confidence that all stem from your childhood. Now, I went to her for lucid dreaming. When I first approached her about this topic, she did let me know that I was the first person who's ever come to her about something like this, but that she was more than happy to help. When I had my initial intake session with her, we still did talk about my childhood. It was very interesting. We still did talk about my childhood, and then later on in the video, I'll tell you how this came back around. So I answered a few questions. We spent some time talking about my goals and what I wanted. So really, I was coming to RTT regarding lucid dreaming because I wanted to release some blockages that I have surrounding my practices. Everybody's not perfect. And once again, I told you all that I'm going to be making these videos, sharing my challenges and my obstacles and the things that I've learned. So perhaps those insights will be able to assist you as well. But recently I found that I have difficulty adhering to the practice that I'm setting up for myself, even though I want to make progress, whereas before I'd never had those types of issues. So I thought this would be an interesting way of going about it and really tapping into myself, learning more about my habits, and just another way to generally improve my lucid dreaming skills and abilities and practices. So how the actual session first started, the session altogether was probably a little bit more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I wasn't watching the clock, so I really couldn't tell you. So of course it's done virtually, so I was laying on my couch. I kind of laid back where she let me know not to completely lay down, so I had used some pillows to prop myself up. She guides me through this process of relaxing my body, of relaxing my mind, and it was very interesting because she brought up REM stage sleep. She brought up the REM, the eye movements and the REM cycle. And of course, if you are familiar with lucid dreaming and lucid dreaming practices, you know that the REM period is the state that we wake ourselves up in during the night so that we can do our wake back to bed practices. So if you're familiar with lucid dreaming, then you're definitely very, very familiar with this REM stage of sleep. It is so crucial and important to what we do. So I thought that was interesting that she brought that up. So she continued to relax me for quite a while. The image that she used was going down a flight of stairs. I thought that this was very interesting too. You all know that I love meditations and visualizations, and there are different brain waves that your brain will go through when you are in different portions of your meditation. But there's actually a part of many visualizations where you're guided down a place or through a place or up a place, and it's just this action of going down or going through or going up, which kind of allows you to pass between certain brainwave frequencies. So I thought that was very interesting, that was also a part of the RTT, the experience. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, when you are going under hypnosis, it's not like you see on TV where you are completely unconscious and you don't know what's going on. You know what's going on. You very much have a sense of autonomy, of being able to, have control over yourself. So it's not like someone is there making you do things against your will. What I would say is that you need to be able to go along with it. Many of us probably have heard this expression, the willing suspension of disbelief. It's a quote that I heard in college and in literature, but we all may have a certain sense of disbelief when we go into experiences. Even like when you go to the movies. You go to the movies and you're going to see a horror movie. Well, you have to willingly suspend your disbelief in order to enter into the process, in order to enter into that experience. So I do think that that is very important for something like this. I can just imagine for a hypnotherapist, or even as a client, someone who's very skeptical and really just has a lot of blockages and issues to this modality at all, this probably isn't going to be, the best experience or the best way to go about doing your personal development work in whatever you're using the RTT for. So I do think that it would be very important for you to be able to willingly suspend your disbelief, or really to engage and go along with the process. Be open to the experience, I would say. So before I actually even laid down, I did a little EFT. This is emotional freedom technique, or tapping. I'll do another video about this. But I did a little bit of that to open myself up to the experience, to really just prepare myself for it and say, I'm going to go into this open and ready to receive whatever comes up. So she begins to guide me through this relaxation process. I go down some stairs and I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper into this, I would say kind of like a meditative state. It's not exactly a meditative state, especially if you practice mindfulness meditation or shamatha or something like this. It's not exactly the same, of course, because there are phenomena that you are paying attention to, and you are kind of going along this journey. You're listening to this story. But once I finally got to the point where I was relaxed, then she asked me, in a way, she got me to bring about 3 memories. We worked with 3 memories. And for my case, using RTT for lucid dreaming, the memories actually, I actually had 4 memories that came up. 3 of them were dreams. I think 2 of them were lucid dreams. One of them I think was not a lucid dream, and the other one was a memory. So I went through the lucid dreams. I went through the experiences. She asked me a lot of questions to describe the experience. And you really use this time to really go in and investigate and see what would come up. And of course, she had her way of doing this. I don't want to spill the beans on that in case, perhaps you are going to a hypnotherapist. And I don't want to put thoughts or ideas in your mind. If you're thinking about doing RTT, then I don't want to fill your head with exactly my experiences. You should go in just completely open, and your experience might be different than mine. But anyway, so she had me bring up 4 experiences. 3 happened to be dreams, 1 happened to be a memory, and then we went through some self-exploration, I would say, inside of those memories. And she asked me some questions, and I was able to respond to her, and it connected a lot of dots. Then after we did this first portion in the hypnosis state, we went to the second portion where she had me visualize holding the dreams in one hand, holding these memories in another hand, and holding my question, I believe it was, or my intention in the other hand, and bringing them together in order to connect further dots. So once I did that, I actually made a lot of realizations, things that I didn't even know. One of the memories that I had in particular was about my very first lucid dream. And in this dream, I was on the side of my grandmother's house, and 3 witches came to take me away. This actually was a repetitive nightmare that I had when I was younger, and this is what actually caused me to have my first lucid dream. I'll make another video about that. But that was one of the scenes that I analyzed. And of course, I'm a childhood in this memory, in this experience, in this scene. So it still really had a lot to do with her speciality of inner child work. I was able to really come to the conclusion that I use lucid dreaming to investigate myself. That's what I was using it for as a child. Once I figured out how to lucid dream, I would use lucid dreaming to go into my own world, to play around, to be imaginative, but also to do a lot of self-investigation and self-exploration. And if you've arrived at this YouTube channel and you are watching these videos, then you know that's what I like to use lucid dreaming for anyway. That's what I like to do in general. Most of the videos on my channel are about self-improvement or self-transformation or personal development. So I really thought that that was interesting in a way to bring everything around full circle. Overall, I would say that it was a very pleasant experience. Now that my RTT the actual session is over, at the end of the session, we went back through the beginning relaxation process, and it was immediately after, I didn't even get up off the couch. And this time she's recording. So after the RTT session is over, we kind of go back and go back into the experience from the beginning very quickly. I would say about 15 minutes. And she speaks some affirmations during this portion of the session. And what she's doing is actually creating a recording that I will listen to for 21 days. And longer, you can continue to listen to it. It reminds me of another meditation that I used to do in the morning time, and it was kind of like a visualization to prepare you to get ready for the day, to visualize the success of your day in advance. So it really reminded me of that, and that's a meditation that I used to use all the time. So I was already really excited about this portion, because I know that has worked for me in the past. So I am confident that it will work as I move forward. So you're to listen to the recording for the next 21 days and really allow those changes and the experiences that you had to sink in and further guide you along and unfold the portion of your journey and what you want to manifest in your experience. It allows you to dive deeper into that over the time that you are listening to the recording. Once again, overall, I would say that I did enjoy the experience. I will definitely do an update video in the future to let you know if there are any significant changes or if I've observed anything over a period of time. In the caption, in the description box below, I will also put the information for the therapist in case you would like to reach out to her, in case you wanted to book any of her services. So I hope that you enjoyed this content and this information in this video. If you find that you want to ask me any additional questions about hypnosis or RTT, please leave those in the comment section below. And of course, as always, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you get notifications on all future videos. And I will see you for the next one.